And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live again, kicking off a brand new week. We're live here again in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building at Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready for, wow, a week of racing, which is not that far away. We are 47 days out from the Xfinity Series racing. Of course, the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 on that Saturday, April the 14th. And of course, on top of that, we have the Zombie Auto 150, the K&N Series. So not that far away, folks. 47 days out. Of course, 48 days, obviously, from this event right here, the Food City 500. Jimmy Johnson back in town to defend his crown. So it is inching ever so closer. Big weekend of racing right down the road at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kevin Harvick brought home the checkers. We'll tell you all about that. The latest is they head off with their three race West Coast road swing. Of course, they'll be heading off to Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Fontana, California in that order. And we'll tell you all about that as we are here live at Bristol Motor Speedway on this Monday, the final Monday of the month, if you can believe that. We bring in, as you know, bring in the month of March coming up later on this week. And so coming in on Thursday, as a matter of fact, it would appear it's going to come in like a lion. Lots of rain and some cooler temperatures, not cold temperatures, but cooler temperatures. So it looks like we're going to enter and greet the month of March in like a lion and hopefully be going out like a lamb, although you can't really knock what we've had over the last couple of weeks. I wouldn't think with the kind of warm temperatures we've had here, unseasonably record-setting temperatures here in the region. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. Today is certainly no different. We will start our show with a verse out of the book of Zephaniah. Zephaniah 3:17 says, I am with you. I am mighty to save. I will take great delight in you. I will quiet you with my love, and I will rejoice over you with singing. And that again is the verse of the day out of the book of Zephaniah. Zephaniah 3:17. We're also inching ever so closer to the celebration of Will Graham coming to town again, the grandson of Dr. Billy Graham, with a 3-day celebration coming to Freedom Hall in Johnson City, April the 27th, 28th, and 29th. In fact, 2 weeks from today, we'll be broadcasting live from the Will Graham headquarters in North Johnson City. So we're looking forward to being over there in a couple of Mondays from now, broadcasting live there from the facility. Of course, there'll still be a sports show, but we're going to obviously have a chance to talk to some folks involved in the celebration. And I think we're due to have Will himself either in person or on the phone for that show, for that day. So we're very excited about that. Coming up later on today, we're going to be joined here at the bottom of the hour by Landon Owens, the Director of Ticket Sales here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Lots to talk about. Doug Fritz will join us from the Johnson City Press because we've got ourselves a big night on girls regional high school basketball. The semifinals tonight in AAA, AA, and Single A. We'll also let you know who's playing where in Virginia. Also, Drew Bedard joins us later on from Bristol Motor Speedway, and also bringing up the finale of the show will be our buddy, the NASCAR fans reporter Mike Hedrick, joining us from Northern Virginia. So lots going on. We had a blast, by the way, on Saturday at the Johnson City Mall with the Kingsport Speedway folks, and had 15, 16 drivers we met with, along with Karen Tunnell and Will Bellamy, a young man who does some of the marketing. And, of course, Bill Patrick, our dear friend, got it all going for us. So we had a blast, had over 1,000 views of the show, and met some really cool drivers and really cool people. So kudos to the folks, again, with the Johnson City Mall, but more importantly, kudos to the folks from the Kingsport Speedway. Check out their website, the new kingsportspeedway.com. And so they'll be racing as well. We're 47 days out from racing here at the world's last great Coliseum. They're inside of a month now. They're going to be racing on the 24th. So you're talking, it's a month from Saturday. So we got 27 days out. They're going to be racing and dropping the green flag of the 2018 season, again, at Kingsport Speedway, better known as the Concrete Jungle. So we'll have lots more to say about that great facility later on in the week, and of course as we inch closer to their start date as well on that Saturday, March the 24th. This is show number 696. I noticed earlier this morning we went over the 1,000 views, 1,000 followers, I should say. We have over 1,000 followers, so appreciate that. Of course, that goes to, in large part, to our dear friend and Jeremiah Clark and Michael Smith, who do a phenomenal job with AppalachianDigital.com, and so they're our social media backbone of this show. And so they have, through their continuing marketing of the show and promoting the show, we've now reached ourselves, which I think is a pretty big deal. It's a big deal to me, over 1,000 followers on this Facebook page, and so we appreciate that very, very much. We've hit kind of a plateau, so now our next goal is to go to, I guess, 1,500 to be the next one. So inch by inch, anything's a cinch, is how I've always been told. So again, thanks to you, of course, and also thanks to, obviously, Jeremiah Clark and Michael Smith from Appalachian Digital and AppalachianDigital.com. First break, we'll be right back. We'll do the obvious since we're at Bristol Motor Speedway. We got a basketball segment coming up later on. What in the world's happened to the East Tennessee State Buccaneer basketball team? They lose again, so they got a limp into the Southern Conference this weekend in Asheville. They had every chance, had everything on the silver platter to win the conference outright, the regular season championship. Laid an egg, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Lost again yesterday, and so they're going to limp into the tournament, and so they've got some things to fix, obviously, and correct, because you're one and done now in that opening round of the tournament, starting this weekend in the Asheville Civic Center, which is no longer the Asheville Civic Center. It's what we call it, or what I call it, but it's been a corporate name now. So we'll talk more about that. The Lady Vols roll over South Carolina yesterday. We'll tell you all about that. Also, men's top 25 college basketball, who's playing yesterday, or rather who's playing tonight and today, and who played yesterday. New polls are out tomorrow, so lots going on. As we told you, we'll also bring you up to speed on who's playing where tonight in high school basketball, both in Tennessee and Virginia, as we go to the second round now, the semifinals of the regional tournaments in single A, double A, and triple A in both boys and girls in Tennessee. Boy, on Saturday night, we went and watched a wild one. Goodness gracious. How about those Elizabethton Cyclones? Went into South Green and beat a really good South Green team, 58-56. It was, as you would expect, a hostile environment. Not a bad environment, but a hostile environment because you're on their home floor, and so it was a tough place to go in and win. But what a gut check by the Elizabethton boys basketball team and their great coach, Lucas Honeycutt. They got it done, winning 58-56, and they'll now play Unicoi County tomorrow night, as the regional now shifts for the semifinals and finals to Chucky Doak High School in Afton, Tennessee. And so the Cyclones and the Unicoi County Blue Devils will meet for, I guess, the 4th time, coming up again tomorrow night, 7:45 tip-off at Chucky Doak. We'll tell you all about who's playing where and what all's going on again and all that, both boys and girls, coming up later on the show. Quick break. We'll be right back. Segment number 1 will be the obvious, as we said, in the lobby of Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll talk a little NASCAR coming up next year on show number 696 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City is starting off 2018 with monster savings on over 350 new Chevrolets to choose from. Take advantage of these awesome savings for a limited time only. Silverado Crew and Double Cabs, $10,000 off MSRP. 17 Spark, $11,995. 18 Equinox, $19,995. 17 Traverse, $28,995. 17 Corvette, 20% off MSRP. Shop us online 24/7, and don't forget our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
The savings continue the month of February at Max Medicine in Kingsport. All natural factors 20% off. Folic acid, CoQ10, apple cider vinegar capsules, B12. They're all on sale. Anything natural factors, all 20% off the month of February at Max Medicine Mart. No coupons, no limits. It's a flat 20% off anytime you buy natural factors in February at Max Medicine Mart. Max Medicine Mart, Center Street, Kingsport. Natural factors 20% off in February. Make tracks to Max Medicine Mart.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 696. We are live again in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building, and we'll be talking to Landon on how you can get your tickets right here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 47 days out, we're ready to rock and roll. It'll be with the doubleheader. It'll be the Xfinity Series, the Fitzgerald Glider Kits 300. Eric Jones back to defend his crown. Again, the defending champ of that race from a year ago. Also out of the K&N Series will be the Zombie Auto 150. Harrison Burton, the son, of course, of former driver Jeff Burton, will be back in to defend his crown as well. So those are the two races on Saturday, the 14th, 47 days out, then 48 days away. Ironically enough, is the number of the man who won the race. Jimmy Johnson in that 48 Lowe's Chevrolet winning the Food City 500 48 days ago, or 48 days from now, I should say. And so we'll be here to tell you all about that. Hello to Greg Bradley. Love you too, brother. JoJo, fantastic official for many, many years. Mike Ezekiel is going to be doing a update on us with Buccaneer baseball coming up later on this week. Got Mike on the show coming up later on, and we'll have him ready to go. Renee McNeil over in Elizabethton. Hello, young lady. How are you? And Andy Thaxton up in West Virginia watching the show this morning. So we appreciate these kids being with us very much here on show number 696 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Last night, let's start off, of course, in the Cup Series. Last night, after 17 barren years, Kevin Harvick finally completed the second chapter of his love affair with Atlanta Motor Speedway. In the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500, the second Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race of the season, Harvick delivered a proper thrashing to the rest of the field, leading 181 out of 325 laps and beating runner-up Brad Keselowski to the finish line by nearly 3 seconds. It was a total domination. Afterwards, in his victory celebration, Harvick gave a number 3 salute to Earnhardt, a tribute he had waited for years to perform because back in 2001, after Dale Earnhardt Sr. died in that last lap crash in Daytona, Harvick was put into a replacement role that would have scared most rookies, but 3 weeks later he notched his first Cup victory in Atlanta and a photo finish over Jeff Gordon. So as a result of that, afterwards yesterday put the number 3 up as a salute, as he'd been waiting for years to make that happen for him. And so he becomes the first driver in Atlanta to win both races in the same weekend. Carl Edwards did it back in 2001, as he also won the Xfinity Series race. We'll tell you about coming up in just a moment. Again, Keselowski second, Clint Boyer finishing third, his Stewart-Haas Racing teammate, putting Fords in all 3 podium positions. Martin Truex Jr. charged forward from a 35th place finish to run 5th. Joey Logano, pole winner Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott rounding out the top 10. Joey Logano takes over the series lead. We'll talk about that in a moment. And a post-race check revealed one lug nut unsecured on Harvick's winning number 4 Ford. The penalty guidelines of the NASCAR rulebook calls for a fine only. And so the Stewart-Haas Racing number 4 team, the Team Penske number 2 Ford, and the Joe Gibbs Kyle Busch number 18 Toyota will go to the NASCAR Research and Development Center for further inspection for this week. So again, your winner was Harvick. Domination there, of course, for Kevin Harvick, who continues to have a very sparkling career, to say the least. And so for Harvick and his team, they pick up the W. Again, as we said, at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Keselowski second, Clint Boyer third. Then you had Martin Truex Jr., and then running 5th again was Martin Truex Jr. So again, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Clint Boyer. Again, Martin Truex Jr. charged from a 35th place to run 5th. And so that's your top 5 yesterday from the race again at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Then we get into the Xfinity Series on Saturday night. Kevin Harvick again put on a driving clinic. The 98 Ford dominated the action on the track, again leading 141 out of 163 laps in the Xfinity Series and winning both stages before taking the checkered flag ahead of runner-up Joey Logano. Harvick collected his 5th NASCAR Xfinity Series victory in Atlanta and 47th in his career. He has won 4 of the last 6 events now at the track, and also has won 4 different car owners, tying Tony Stewart for the distinction of winning for 4 different owners at a single track. So Harvick again continues to run very, very strong. And so behind Harvick and Joey Logano, first and second in the Xfinity Series, pole winner Christopher Bell ran 3rd, followed by John Hunter Nemechek. And so that's your top 4. And Elliott Sadler, the veteran, rounds out the top 5 from the racing on Saturday. Again, so that was the Xfinity Series race. And then on the Truck Series, Brett Moffitt streaked into the lead in overtime restart in Saturday afternoon's Active Pest Control 200 at Atlanta Motor Speedway and pulled away to win the 2nd NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race of his career. And so driving to the inside and taking then leader Matt Snyder and Johnny Sauter 3 wide in the first corner. Moffitt beat Noah Gragson to the finish line by 1.3 seconds to win the race. And so Kyle Busch, by the way, it's a crazy day. He was on the verge of winning his 50th Truck Series victory when there was a crash in lap 125. And so with tires at a premium, the lead lap trucks came into pit road under the yellow flag, under the yellow caution. But Busch left pit road with his lugs off of his left rear tire, which fell off. His tire actually fell off his truck as he pulled off onto the apron of turn 1. So you got to know, inside that pit crew meeting, whenever they've had it, maybe this morning, there's some unhappy campers, to say the least. Kyle Busch off to win this thing, and again left pit road with lug nuts off his left rear tire, which fell off his truck. He had to back into the stall to correct the miscue, and that was the day again for rowdy Kyle Busch. So the storyline coming out of Atlanta, all 4 Stewart-Haas racing cars placed in the top 13. Kurt Busch finishing 8th, the newcomer Eric Amarola coming up 13th, and again Clint Boyer finishing 3rd, and Kevin Harvick won the race. So a lot of momentum heading off into the next 3 stops, which will be, as we told you, going to be heading off into the racing action, which will be going into Las Vegas and Phoenix, and then of course Fontana, the West Coast swing before they come back into Martinsville Speedway coming up later in the month of March. So let's take a look at the Cup Series drivers as they head off to that West Coast trip. Again with Vegas, Martin Truex Jr., the defending champ there. Phoenix, Rocket Ryan Newman won that race. And then the Fontana, California, Kyle Larson won that race. So those guys will be the ones that are going to be heading with some momentum into the West Coast 3-race road swing, beginning with Las Vegas this weekend. Top 10 in points: Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, Austin Dillon at number 6. Then comes Martin Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, Paul Menard, and Eric Amarola. The top 10 right now heading off to Las Vegas in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. The Camping World Truck Series, I want to bring up that for just a second. Justin Fontaine, the young man who raced at Kingsport Speedway last year. Again, currently Fontaine, a pretty good run the other day. Top 20 finish, finished 19th after starting 22nd. Again, so Justin Fontaine, I believe currently, if I've got this right, Fontaine is currently 13th in points. He had a 10th place finish in Daytona and a 19th place finish in Atlanta. They won't race again until March the 24th in Martinsville, but a big start for the rookie driver Justin Fontaine, who again raced at Kingsport Speedway a year ago. The Xfinity driver standings, leaving Atlanta, heading Las Vegas. Elliott Sadler with a 4-point lead over Tyler Reddick. Elliott Sadler leads by 4 over Tyler Reddick. Then comes Ryan Reed, Ryan Truex, Spencer Gallagher, the top 5. Then comes Christopher Bell, Justin Allgaier, Ross Chastain, Kaz Grala, and Brandon Jones, the top 10 in the Xfinity Series. Again, Elliott Sadler, the veteran, on top of the leader pole, heading to, again, Las Vegas this weekend for the Boyd Gaming 300 that Joey Logano will defend his crown from a year ago in that race. Then the Camping World Truck Series standings, again, they're off until March the 24th in Martinsville. Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, Grant Enfinger, Noah Gragson, and Brett Moffitt, your top 5 there. Then comes Ben Rhodes, Dalton Sargent, Spencer Davis, Joe Nemechek, and Justin Haley, the top 10 in the Truck Series. Again, they're off until March the 24th in Martinsville. So coming up this weekend, you have an interesting scenario. Kyle Larson got the runner-up in both races, both the Xfinity Series and the Cup race a year ago in Las Vegas. So the Cobalt 400 in the Cup Series, Brad Keselowski set on the pole. Martin Truex Jr. started second, led 150 out of the 267 laps in Las Vegas to win that particular race. And so they'll be back to defend his crown, of course, this weekend. The Xfinity Series, Kyle Busch set on the pole. Joey Logano won the race, again leading the field 106 out of the 200 laps for the event. And so your defending champs in the Cup Series, Truex Jr., Joey Logano in the Xfinity Series. And again, the active winner at Las Vegas heading that way for the racing this weekend, Jimmy Johnson has won there 4 times. JJ's won there in 05, 06, 07. 3 straight years he won the race, and also 2010. Brad Keselowski, a 2-time winner there, 2014, 2016. Kyle Busch has won there once, 2009. And Kevin Harvick brought home the checkers on the track, 2015. Of course, Martin Truex Jr. defending the crown from a year ago. So that's your racing setup for this weekend as they head off to Las Vegas, and then head off to Phoenix, and then head off to Fontana, with Martin Truex Jr. winning at Las Vegas, Rocket Ryan Newman winning in Phoenix, and Kyle Larson winning the race in Fontana, California. Tom Taylor Sports Show, again, show number 696. We are, in fact, live, as we said. We're here again, rolling along again at Bristol Motor Speedway, the lobby of the Bruton Smith building, where this place is going to heat up by the day. It gets busier and busier because we are 47 days out from that Saturday racing on April the 14th, and of course 48 days out obviously from the big Sunday race on April the 15th, with Jimmy Johnson coming in 48 days out in the 48 Lowe's Chevrolet to defend his crown for the Food City 500. Before we go to the break, in the NHRA, Courtney Force won the Arizona Nationals on Sunday after her 68-year-old racing great father escaped serious injury in a frightening engine explosion and crash. Courtney Force beat Tommy Johnson Jr. in the final round. She won for the 10th time in Funny Car and the first since Houston in 2016. John Force's engine exploded at the finish line, sending him veering across the right lane in front of Johnny Lindbergh and hard into a retaining wall. The hit lifted his rear tires off the ground, and they landed on Lindbergh's canopy. Parachutes in both cars got tangled at that point. Lindbergh's car dragging Forces back across the track and into the left wall. And so, obviously, he was sent immediately to the hospital following a hard crash. And so they will continue to take a look at him. And so he was released Sunday night, as a matter of fact, from Chandler Regional Hospital. Lindbergh exited his mangled dragster under his own power. So, again, safety first. And if you go back and watch that crash, it's unbelievable that he could walk away, but he did. He was released Sunday night from Chandler Regional Hospital, so that is a good sign for the legendary driver, 68-year-old John Force, on the NHRA circuit. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll jump in. We've got Landon Owen joining us coming up here in a few minutes. He's going to talk a little college basketball, a little NASCAR, obviously, a little ticket sales at Bristol Motor Speedway, whatever else he got on his mind. We'll do that coming up here in just a few minutes as we're here live again in the lobby of the Bruton Smith building. Tomorrow we'll be at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. On Wednesday we'll be at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday we'll be at Champion Chevrolet, and then on Friday we'll be right back into Food City, picking back up the month of March, and we have the first of 3 stops at Food Cities, and this coming Friday we'll be at Food City in Churchill. Can't wait to get down and hang out with the folks in Hawkins County. Quick break. We'll be right back. Show number 696. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back live at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Again, show number 696 live in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building here. Again, at Bristol Motor Speedway on this Monday, February the 26th, 2018. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball, bring you up to speed. First off, it has been made official now. J.D. Martinez has arrived at the spring training facility. He, of course, underwent a physical, the last step in finalizing his 5-year, $110 million contract. And so as the days went by with no news conference or official announcement, it became apparent there was some kind of a hang-up. Well, that's all said and done now because he has been introduced this morning, officially announcing the signing of slugger J.D. Martinez for the Red Sox for a 5-year contract running through the 2022 season. And so Martinez has a long injury history, and so they wanted to make sure everything was, all the I's were dotted and T's were crossed, and so they did. And so he has now finalized a as we said, a $110 million contract, 5-year, $110 million contract. He's in the fold now, J.D. Martinez, for the Boston Red Sox. So both Sox fans everywhere should be extremely happy about that because that's a big gun now in your offensive lineup. Obviously some offensive firepower to be sure for the Boston Red Sox. Minnesota Twins have swooped in and signed one of the top remaining free agents. Yesterday, the Twins reportedly agreed to a 1-year contract with first baseman Logan Morrison. The deal includes a second-year vesting option. Club has not yet confirmed the signing, but it's guaranteed the Twins is $6.5 million over 1 year. Escalators and vesting option can make it $16.5 million over 2 years. 30-year-old Morrison again hammered out 38 home runs with Tampa Bay last season. 246 batting average with 38 long balls. And so Morrison and Joe Mauer figure to share first base and designated hitter duties this season. So the Twins are, again, going out and opening up that checkbook and shopping and building their baseball team to be even stronger by signing Logan Morrison yesterday to a 1-year contract. Daniel Norris, young man out of Johnson City, Tennessee, expected to compete with Francisco Liriano for a slot in Detroit's starting rotation. Norris was originally expected to have a good shot at becoming a member of the starting rotation, but his chances have diminished after the Tigers signed Liriano to a 1-year deal on Friday. The 24-year-old Daniel Norris out of Johnson City, currently out of minor league options and can be on the outside looking in if Liriano earns a starting spot. Norris will have to bounce back this spring after struggling to a 5-8 record and a 5.31 ERA and 18 starts a season ago. So Daniel's going to have to step it up. Tigers went out and signed Francisco Liriano to a 1-year deal, and so they're going to want him in the rotation. And Daniel Norris, which he can do, has to prove that he belongs there as much as Liriano does. Exhibition baseball yesterday. Your winners: Washington, the Red Sox, Houston, the Yankees, Minnesota, Pittsburgh. Also, Detroit split squad win over Toronto. The Mets, the Cubs, the White Sox, Texas, Kansas City, Cleveland, Seattle, Milwaukee, and the Angels all get W's today. It's Boston and Pittsburgh, Detroit, Baltimore, Houston takes on Miami, St. Louis and Minnesota, Toronto and Tampa Bay, the Braves hosting Washington and Kissimmee at 1:05 today, the Mets in Houston, Arizona and Cincinnati, Cleveland, Milwaukee being played at Phoenix, Kansas City and San Francisco. These are all day games. The Dodgers in Texas, Oakland and Chicago, Seattle takes on the Cubs, the Angels and the Padres, Colorado and Arizona, and one night game in Tampa, the Yankees and the Philadelphia Phillies in spring training exhibition baseball. Dallas Cowboys switching gears, pro football. Dallas Cowboy tight end Jason Witten from Elizabethton held his inaugural Collegiate Man of the Year award presentation last week at the team's headquarters. Witten, the Elizabethton native and former UT star, and his organization created the award to honor the college football player who has demonstrated an outstanding record of leadership by exhibiting courage, integrity, and sportsmanship. The three finalists were Oklahoma State quarterback Mason Rudolph, Alabama cornerback Minka Fitzpatrick, and Central Florida linebacker Shaquem Griffin. Griffin took home the award in front of a group that included several of Witten's past and current teammates, including Tony Romo and Emmitt Smith, as well as his college coach Philip Fulmer, the athletic director at Tennessee. Griffin led Central Florida to an undefeated season and a conference championship. An inspiration to his teammates, he graduated with a degree in sociology and is a regular volunteer for local Boys and Girls Clubs. As the recipient of the award, Griffin will have a $10,000 contribution in his name made to his school's athletic scholarship fund through Jason Witten's SCORE Foundation, the official charity of Jason and his wife, Michelle. So, again, congratulations to Shaquem Griffin. Again, named the first man of the year for Jason Witten, his collegiate man of the year. And again, he gets a $10,000 contribution in his name made to the school's athletic scholarship fund through the Jason Witten SCORE Foundation, the official charity of Jason and his wife, Michelle. We're live here again at Bristol Motor Speedway, the Bruton Smith building, here on the grounds of, on the lobby of Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's last great coliseum. We'll take a break, come right back, and we're due to be joined by our buddy Landon Owens, Director of Ticket Sales, due to join us next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. The 10th anniversary birthday celebration is on at Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. Anytime this week you stop by and dine at Phil's Dream Pit and take in some canned goods to help Second Harvest Food Bank, you'll get 10% off the total of your bill all week long. Plus, this coming Saturday, the actual day of the 10th anniversary birthday celebration, when you take in canned goods and you dine there this coming Saturday, February the 10th, you'll get 20% off the total of your meal. How about that? Happy birthday and happy anniversary from Phil's Dream Pit all week long. Take in canned goods to help out Second Harvest Food Bank and dine there on Saturday, and it's 20% off, their way of saying thanks for 10 great years at Phil's Dream Pit, Eastern Star exit of Interstate 26. See you this week at Phil's Dream Pit. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
I'm with head baseball coach Ryan, president of the Elizabethton Cyclones. And, Coach, we're very excited, my friend. We're getting ready to double the coverage of Cyclone baseball this year. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited, too. I think it's a big step for our program. We really believe that getting out there what our kids do and letting the community know what we're doing and what we're up to is very important. The weather can be bad in the spring, and it doesn't matter to us if the weather's bad. We're going to play. We've played in snow. We don't really care about that. But watching baseball in the snow is pretty tough. So I think it's a really good opportunity for our fans to keep up with us. And really, we've got a lot of fans that live in different states. And I think you saw that from the coverage last year. People in all different parts of the country and in the world watching and listening to Cyclone baseball. So we're excited about the opportunity.
Absolutely. And, of course, it all starts March the 13th against Sullivan Central. We got some great games lined up. And, hey, this year we're taking out on the road doing some games, most of the games at Twin Stadium, but we are going to be on the road this year, some big conference games too.
Absolutely. You look early on, us at East, we battled last year with East, and a lot of the same players back on both sides of the field this year. So we're going to be battling with the East early on, and game at Happy Valley, obviously big in-county rivalry. That's also a conference tilt for us, and then going on the road down to Smoky Stadium. We're going to be playing Pigeon Forge in Jefferson County. Jefferson County goes to the state tournament last year in 3A. We actually beat them last year, which was big for us. And just trying to expand what we're doing here with the program, and this is a big part of it, and we appreciate you coming on board.
Oh, absolutely. Love it, love it, love it. And, of course, it takes sponsorship to make it go, to drive the bus, if you will. And so you've lined up some great sponsors. Tell us some of the folks that are going to be helping out with the broadcast this year.
We're going to be headlined by Chick-fil-A. So they're going to be our headline sponsor for the season. Game night sponsors actually got Carter County Bank and Appalachian Community Federal Credit Union. Physical therapy services from here in town. Tri-Cities Health is a great little outfit over on the edge of town between Elizabethton and Johnson City. Just super folks. Blackburn Children's in Stegall over in Johnson City. And we've even got Elizabethton High School Fellowship of Christian Athletes is coming on board. We're really happy to partner with them. They do a lot of great things here in the community and in the school.
It all starts March 13th. Again, it's going to be the Sullivan Central Cougars, our first one. First pitch at 7 o'clock on March 13th. It'll be here before you know it. Coach, what's the phrase that pays? What are we supposed to say? Cyclone?
Cyclone pride. Something to live by, Tom.
Cyclone pride. Something to live by. We'll see you March 13th. Again, looking forward to bringing Cyclone baseball right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page. Hey, we're back live again to the Tom Taylor Sports Show number 696. Coming up the top of the hour, checking with Doug Fritz. Big night for basketball. Regional play, semifinals, girls tonight, guys tomorrow. And we'll tell you all about what's going on. He will give a preview of what's happening with hoops because tis the season. It is tournament time across the region. And, of course, tonight for these teams, there is no tomorrow. It's the semifinals. Got to win tonight. If you win tonight, put yourself in the chance for the sectional for next week, but again, got to do it tonight. Hello, Jerry Keller. Appreciate you. Hey, Don. We'll be seeing you on Friday. That's good. We'll be at Food City in Churchill on Friday. We are joined, as you see on the screen, the man who makes this ticket department go here, the director of ticket sales at Bristol Motor Speedway, our buddy Landon Owen. And good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Tom?
Great. We're going to talk hoops. We're going to talk maybe a little spring training with your beloved Mets, but we're going to start off with the obvious. Big weekend of racing coming out of the Daytona 500. We roll into Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we get in a Kevin Harvick dominating weekend. First time since 2001. Same drivers won both the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. Carl Edwards did an 0-1. Harvick just dominated the track both days, and, of course, wins yesterday and gives him some definite momentum heading off to Vegas.
I think it's going to be a really interesting storyline the entire year of all the talk around the young guns, but there's a lot of guys that ain't done yet. And you saw this week, 1 through 8, we're all veterans. We need to come up with a name of the stable for them. This is like wrestling, right? You got the NWO, which is the new guys, and you need the tried and true. You know, so we got to come up with a name for them. That's
the Road Warriors.
All right.
There you go. Because Harvick and he's got now. You're around these drivers.
Yeah.
Are their egos bruised? Because, I mean, Busch came out and said before the start of the season, Kyle Busch said, look, all we're hearing about is these young guns. You forgot about the veterans. We're out here, too. Is there a little bit of little bruised egos that the older guys don't feel like they're getting the pub they deserve?
I think that's just natural. You look at what's going on in baseball right now, too, with the free agency. There's a lot of guys not signed that, in otherwise normal years, Jake Arrieta isn't signed. You know, maybe he's asking too much money. I don't think that's the issue with NASCAR of people. You know, obviously, the money is different. But yeah, I think you can't help but be hurt a little bit of your pride when everybody's like, hey, what about me? You know, and, you know, kind of that's our society now is on to the next big shiny shiny object. And there's a lot of talent too. I mean, it's not unfounded. Look at the 1-2 in Daytona. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of guys that have a lot of left in the tank, and they're going to be out there to show them. I think it's going to be a compelling year. There's kind of three definite segments of you got your Harvick, Johnson, who else goes in that older?
Rocket Ryan Newman.
Yep, Newman. And then you've got your Hamlins, your Keselowskis, Logano's, and Kyle Busch. Put Kurt Busch in the first group too. Truex in that group, and then you got your up and comers, your Larsons, your Dillons, and all the new guys, Bowman and Prince William there too.
There you go.
So it's like I said, it's going to be neat. See these stables forming. It is really going to be true entertainment this year.
Of course, a lot of these guys will be coming up here, and they're going to be on a learning curve of the world's last great Coliseum. You say, well, they've raced in the Xfinity Series, they raced in the Camping World Truck Series here, and that's all fine and good in some of the K&N Series, but getting out there and learning curve in front of the best in the Cup Series is a whole different animal. You look at the top 20 in points: Logano, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and Clint Bowyer, the top 5. So there's a young buck right there at number 2. Then you go finish out the top 10: Austin Dillon, Martin Truex Jr., the defending points champion, Kurt Busch, Paul Menard, and Eric Almirola. And then in the second 10, you have Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Darrell Wallace Jr., Michael McDowell. What a surprising run for this guy, which I think is awesome. He's currently 15th. Ryan Newman 16th. Alex Bowman, the replacement for Junior, 17th. Chris Buescher 18th. Chase Elliott 19th, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. rounding out the top 20 in points. So you got a good right there. You make a great point. Good mixture of the old ones and the young ones.
It's going to be that way all year.
Sure.
So just buckle in. Food City 500 is going to be a great show. And again, it's a proving ground. People come here. A lot of guys say it's their favorite track for a reason. We're a little biased, of course, but
sure.
Don't take our word for it. Take theirs. Come check out the action and see for yourself.
It's a resume builder. I mean, look how many guys over the last 4 or 5 years have won at this track, either the spring or fall race in some form or fashion, depending on which series, and it's helped them to move on up to the next round because everybody tells you that if you win at Bristol, it's a driver's track. A lot of the technology kind of goes out the window. It's just who can survive the carnage.
That's right. Hey, and we just happen to be 48 days away from the race, and our winner last year of the number 48 in the spring, Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson, there you go. Little numbers game. Yep. So we're 48 days out. Again, next stop for the Cup drivers again this weekend will be the Cobalt 400 in Vegas. Martin Truex Jr. started on the number 2 spot last year on the front row and ended up winning the race. Keselowski sat on the pole. Again, your most active driver there will be the guy that won the race here last year. Jimmy Johnson's got 4 wins, will be the active driver. Hello, Scott Hyatt. Good morning, sir. Thanks for watching the show. Appreciate you. And so it's a doubleheader racing, again, the Cup and the Xfinity Series this weekend in Vegas. Trucks are off until March the 24th and nearby Martinsville. So let's talk tickets here. We've got, as we said, 47 days away from a 450-lap day on a Saturday the 14th with the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 and the Zombie Auto 150. We've added laps to that race. And then on the next day, of course, the Food City 500. So what is that, 950 laps of racing for the spring season. So how do we get tickets, and can we still get season tickets for both races?
Sure can, and we've still got some great rewards that come with it. We're unveiling our Bristol Rewards program this week, so be on the lookout for that. You'll see it in the local papers or online. Article hit this morning, I believe, as well. New low pricing that we enacted for 2018 as well. So you can get tickets through us starting at $60 for either race right now. I'm sorry, just the spring race. The August race is $70. Those are the get-in points. If you're local, you can go to Food City, or by local, I mean any Food City store, whether you're in Chattanooga or whether you're up in Kentucky. You can go walk into Food City and buy a ticket to the race for $50 for the spring, $60 for August. Kids are just $10 for cup races, free to all the other events that we do. It's a great program. Our kids' numbers were through the roof last year for good reason. Great family entertainment, lots of new stuff that's going to be coming up and we'll be releasing. But 423 Bristol will get you here. Toll free 866-415-4158, or you can go online at bristolmotorspeedway.com or bristoltix.com. Either one will get you there, or 2ticketmaster.com, and purchase online.
Not going to knock the movie industry, but I can tell you, I know some folks went to see this movie Black Panther over the weekend, and a kid 12 and under went, and it wasn't $10 ticket. I can tell you that. It is very, I don't know if it's pricey, but it ain't $10. And so, but you come up here on Saturday, these kids see 450 laps of racing, and it's truly the stars of tomorrow. I mean, look how many guys have elevated themselves from the Xfinity Series on up to the Cup Series. So 450 laps for free, 12 and under. You can't beat it.
I believe Dylan and Blaney both won here in the last couple of years. So you're going to see guys that are going to move up and become names, start their name here.
And Eric Jones won the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 last year. He's now in the Cup Series. So it is a no-brainer for the tickets. And, of course, he's going to give me the new sheet. We're going to take it with us everywhere we go to promote the fact that you've got 950 laps of racing coming up this weekend. This weekend of racing in April for the adult ticket would be what? What'd you say, 60?
Adult ticket 60, kids ticket 10.
Wow. Can't beat it. Yeah. There you go. College basketball. Let's switch gears here for just a second. I know you got to get to a meeting, but college basketball, the lid's kind of been blown off of what looks to be it's going to get real interesting, I think. What do you think?
It really is. You got your first big name coach that's tied up and says, hey, we've got some proof of this, and Sean Miller. So we'll see where that goes. Remember, you're innocent until proven guilty, but the court of public opinion doesn't wait. So
that's a good point.
It's out there, it's happening, it's real. It's been going on forever. Not everybody does it, but the ones that do, you're more than likely going to get caught over time. There's a reason they made movies about this stuff with He Got Game and Blue Chips, and the program back in the day was a football one. So to think this stuff doesn't happen is naive, but I've never been a big fan of paying student athletes, but maybe it's time to look at allowing them to use their name to market themselves.
He's referencing Arizona coach Sean Miller caught on an FBI wiretap discussing a $100,000 payment to lure a 5-star recruit to commit to the school. Interestingly enough, his contract, did a little digging on his contract, Miller's contract, if they end up firing him, which I'd say right now it's a slippery slope for this guy. Current contract says if he's fired for cause, he'll get paid more by the university than if they just parted ways with him. Sean Miller's contract is written somehow pays him more for getting fired with cause than without cause. If Miller gets fired with cause, which this certainly is, Arizona will owe him approximately $5 million more, $10 million versus $5 million if they just went out and fired him because he wasn't winning.
Sounds like he's got a good agent. He might have known what he was doing. He might have
I just don't get this. If I'm paying you $10 an hour to do the ticket sales, which obviously this is hypothetical, and I fire you and they say, gosh, since you're no good, you didn't get it done, we're going to pay you $20 an hour to get rid of you. How does that work? I don't get that. But these agents set this stuff up on all these different, and not just in basketball coaches, but baseball, NFL, all these guys, a lot of them get paid more to get canned, particularly the coaches, than if they win and stay.
It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah. I'm an old country boy, and I don't know. No, I don't get it. So they didn't ask me. Hello to Miranda White, who's watching. Who's sitting right up there. Thank you, young lady. All right. Enjoy your input on WLW Radio with Dave Martin on weekends. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Brenda Smith. We call in on the big one every Saturday night on the American Trucking Network and talk NASCAR and talk Bristol Motor Speedway, talk the Last Great Coliseum. So I get a chance to selfishly plug the track on a radio station every Saturday night. It covers 38 states. I love it. Sir. Oh, you're quite welcome. So 20 Division I basketball programs and more than 25 players are out here in the crosshairs. Again, some folks asked me yesterday at church, is there anything to this? I said, guys, it's the FBI. It's the feds. It's the big boys. Have 4,000 hours of wiretaps, 4,000 total wiretapping that they've tapped into on coaches calling, talking to agents. So it's got to be something to it, isn't there?
Is the FBI really going after the NCAA?
I don't
in
know.
the long run, they say you just got to go away.
Yeah.
You know, because why would the FBI spend all this time on something that's has an unenforceable rule essentially from a governing body that doesn't have any ammunition?
Mm-hmm.
So who's pulling the strings on this?
There you go.
Yeah.
Good point. So stay tuned is all I can tell you, because they're even talking, the NCAA is talking about some of these guys that they know for sure have taken money, or their parents or somebody in the family trees taking money will set them down for the tournament. They're even talking about some teams not getting to play in March Madness. I don't know how you can come out there and do that. And can they drop the hammer this quickly on these teams?
Great with it, because Syracuse is right on the bubble. So we really need some teams to fall off in front of us. So that'd be fantastic. Let's go. Drop the hammer.
There we go. Drop the hammer. All right, top 25 college basketball tonight. Got a couple of good ones. 5th-ranked Duke will be in Blacksburg, Castle Coliseum. Tough place to play. North Carolina found that out. Duke will go and play the Hokies tonight. Duke at 24-5, Tech at 20-9. Another good game in the Big 12. 6th-ranked Texas Tech. Hello to all of our West Virginia fans watching. We have a lot of folks watching up in the hills of West Virginia. We appreciate that. Texas Tech will be in Morgantown tonight, take on the Mountaineers. They are 21st in the country at 21-8. Texas Tech at 22-7. The other top 25 game, 8th-ranked Kansas hosting Texas tonight in the wild and wacky Big 12. So right now, if you had to pick your top 3 teams in men's college basketball, as we're turning the corner, conference tournaments are coming up this week and next week, so it's here. Who's your top 3 or 4 teams right now in men's play?
I know Villanova's lost a couple, 3 or so in the last couple weeks. We got a local team here that's done the same thing, but they've got veteran leadership. I still like Villanova. Everybody, Michigan State's number 2, but most times you see them, they're not on the number 1 seed line, which tells me something there isn't just quite right yet. Kansas keeps getting bumped up. They're the other team. Duke's got the offensive firepower. It's hard to bet against them. So I would go Nova, Duke, and some random team. I don't know who it is, but just the field. I'll take the field against the favorites.
What about the Cavaliers? You like the Cavaliers?
I do, but they're just so boring. I really don't. I know they're not boring. For those of you that like defense in the pack line, I'm sorry. But they beat my team just mercilessly already this year as well. So, and that style has proven that it doesn't translate to March. 2 years ago or whatever, when Syracuse beat them to go to the Final Four, they had no business doing that. But that slow down pace, eventually you're going to run into a team that makes shots. And a team that can make shots is Duke.
See, the team that keeps jumping out, I mean, I don't know why, but every day I read these stories and read these lines is Purdue. And I don't know why, but and I guess they're out there and can make some noise like anybody else. And then I keep thinking Kentucky's going to the bell's going to go off and these guys are going to figure it out and start playing together and they're going to be a force. And then the Tar Heels, the defending national champions, you got to feel like they're going to they're going to get it together when it counts.
They're
So,
hot right now.
yeah.
I'll tell you, they're hot. Stat to mention is the ACC Big Ten Challenge this year. I believe it was like 12-2 in the favor of the ACC.
Yeah.
So my bold prediction, no Big Ten team makes the Elite 8.
There you go. We're talking about man again. We are here with Landon Owen. Top of the hour, we'll talk to Doug Fritz and the Johnson City Press. Bottom of the hour, we're going to be joined by Drew Bedard from here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And then our NASCAR fans reporter Mike Hedrick joins us twice a week, and he'll have our Monday visit a little bit later on from Woodbridge, Virginia. By phone, we'll talk to my man Mike Hedrick. So college basketball, the East Tennessee State Buccaneers, really laid an egg. They've laid 3 eggs in a row, so they had a chance to win it outright. It was in their hands, and of course, Coach Forbes says in the paper, it's all on me. So they got to regroup and head to the Southern Conference tournament this weekend, and they got to get it together quick because you're one and done now because you're not going into the number 1 seed. So they got to get it together, and I think they will.
I think the only thing that really hurts them not being the 1 seed is if they lost, not getting that automatic bid to the NIT. Because that's a big thing for a school like ETSU. So, but now the other side is now you got to win it. So that's what they did last year. Let's hope they can rebound, and they've got the leaders that have been there before. They know how to win. Their path is interesting. They'll get Furman again in the second game if they win.
Mm-hmm.
But God knows they could get the Citadel in the first game. It's Chattanooga or Sanford. They'll play the winner of that. So, let's assume they get by, and then they've got Furman waiting for them. Team to watch out for is Mercer. I think they were the preseason favorites, and they have really put it together lately. They beat some people. They beat Wofford last night. They beat Greensboro a couple weeks ago. They're the one to watch out. I think they're your dark horse.
Bucks will play Saturday at 6 o'clock against the winner of the Friday night Chattanooga-Sanford game, as Landon said. Tournament being played, of course, at the U.S. Cellular Center in Asheville. The old name was Asheville Civic Center. Of course, the Bucks are the defending champ of the tournament, so they got to get after it and get it done. So we'll see if they can starting on Saturday night. Last but not least, baseball. Flip on the computer this morning, and Tim Tebow steps on a sprinkler and rolls his ankle. And I'm thinking, it's just like doom and gloom for the Mets all the time.
Mets doing Mets things. That was my post this morning. I read the same thing. I just kind of hung my head. So this is already. I'm like, already. There's a great Family Guy clip, if you can find it during the next break, that you know how they have all the cutaways. Well, Brian and Stewie are out trick-or-treating or something. He's like, Halloween's the biggest letdown since being a Mets fan on opening day. And they flash through the game, and they're like, welcome to opening day. And Stewie's wearing a hat in the crowd, a Mets hat. They're like, and here's the first pitch, and the season's over. And he throws his hat down. And inevitably, everybody emails that to me on opening day. So why not get it out of the way early, everybody? The Mets.
Oh, me, oh, my.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man, oh, man.
And your hot shot prospect, who's a first base stud or whatever, he oversleeps or something, misses his first meeting, and gets scratched on the first day. So, and now he's hurt. Yeah, conveniently.
The Bad News Bears. There they are, the Bad News Mets.
Mets doing Mets things.
There you go.
Yep.
I know you got to get to a meeting. I sure do appreciate you coming down here.
My pleasure.
Yes, if I could. Yep, be back in a couple of weeks. Come back and do it again. We're talking to our buddy Landon Owen. We'll take a quick break. We will come back and we'll go by phone to Doug Fritz, talk high school basketball tonight. It's regional semifinals. You got to win to keep on trucking, and we'll check in with Doug Fritz in the Johnson City Press. He joins us coming up next on show number 696 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again. We're up to 1,000 followers on this Facebook page, which I'm very proud of, and so we thank you very, very much for being with us and continue to spread the word, like us and share us, and you do. We just got a nice text from, I don't know where Brenda Smith Cornett is at, but she says, enjoy your input on 700 WLW with Dave Martin on weekends. Thank you. We get on there every Saturday night. It's a station that covers 38 states on the big one. AM 700, the home of the Reds, and we talk NASCAR, talk Bristol Motor Speedway. So thank you, Brenda Smith Cornett, usually at midnight on Saturday night. So thank you, young lady. Appreciate that very much. Let's go to the phone. He's there. Our buddy Doug Fritz is with us from the Johnson City Press. Good afternoon, my good friend. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Thank you for being with us. We got lots to talk about. We got regional semifinals tonight. Let's start with AAA. It's going to be the girls tonight. Let's start with the AAA. It'll be Jeff County Dobbins Minute at 6 o'clock. Morristown West and Daniel Boone at 7:30. These are right because they're coming out of the Johnson City Press. There's been some confusion, but these are the correct start times. Jeff County Dobbins Minute at 6. Morristown West and Daniel Boone at 7:30. Break these games down for me tonight, would you please?
Well, both of these games are just, they just have the potential to be exciting. This is the end. So this is the game everybody kind of waits for, that region semifinal game. Because if you win this one, you're in the region championship, but you get that sectional game. You get that one-shot chance to go to the state tournament. That's kind of the goal for everybody around here, to have that chance to get to the state tournament. But tonight's the one you've got to win in both these games. Should be fourth quarter decisions, and I think Jeff County, being on their home court, should be able to beat DB. If I'm picking, I'm going with them. The Boone West game, it was a 1-point game last time, and Boone had a big lead and let West sneak back in, but Boone struggled with them in the postseason. They struggled with them in the regular season through the years, and West has got such a good program. As much as I hate to say it, I think West is going to win this game, and I think it's going to be really close, and it should just be a fantastic basketball game.
So you think the two winners tonight will be Morristown West and Jeff County, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the District 2 team's going to win tonight, in your humble opinion. And AA tonight, South Green's Lady Rebels take on Greenville at 6 o'clock at Chucky Doak High School. Then at 7:30, the Lady Cougars of Sullivan Central take on the host Lady Black Knights of Chucky Doak. Break down the AA semifinals. What do you think about these tonight?
Well, that's the one we were talking about, where these game times, just what you see in the press and what Tom just said are the correct game times. So if you see something different on TWA website or Coach T, those unless they've been updated, those may not be correct. But South Green and Greenville. I don't give Greenville a great chance of being able to win this game, although with Sydney Lawler getting 41 against Unicoi on Friday, leads me to think that she's going to do her best, but this would be an upset. I still think South Green's got a great chance to win a third straight state title, be their first one in AA in quite some time, as they won the last two in single A. But, it's going to be a great game, great atmosphere, big crowd. I like South Green's toughness and experience in these situations to be able to win that game. And, in the other game at Central and Doak, I thought that, Granger would clip Central on the road. They didn't do it. Central proved me wrong again. And, Central's got a young bunch of sophomores that are just tremendous, and they've got a senior in Taylor Sanders who really fits in well with those sophomores. I like Central's chances tonight. I actually like their chances better tonight than I did in the quarterfinals at home. So we'll see what happens. But I like Central and South Green to be playing for the region championship on Wednesday.
Talking to Doug Fritz of Johnson City Press. Let's go to the single A girls semifinals tonight. 6 o'clock, Cloudland takes on the Lady Huskies in North Green at 6. Unaka's Lady Rangers and Cosby at 7:30. How do you like these games? Cloudland, North Green, Unaka, Cosby tonight.
Well, I've always liked Michael Unford as a coach. Not just as a football coach. I just like him as a coach, and I think his kids will somehow find a way in an underdog role to beat North Green. It's not even a big underdog role. It's just a small one, and that's North Green's got a tremendous coach. They've got a program that's done a lot of good things, and I'm picking Cloudland. Maybe that's more me clouded by my respect for Coach Lunsford and him figuring out a way to win that game. Won't surprise me if North Green wins, but I'll go with Cloudland there, and then I think Unaka. think this is the year they've really got a chance to get to the sectional, and they've proven it by getting to the region semifinals here. It's going to be a tough matchup with Cosby, but I think Unaka finds a way to win that game, and so we'll go with Unaka and Cloudland in the finals.
Talking to Doug Fritz, while we've got you, let's put you on the spot here and let you analyze tomorrow night's boys semifinals. AAA, these are being played at Jeff County. Science Hill, Morristown East in Game 1 at 6 o'clock, and the host Jefferson County Patriots and Dobbins Minute at 7:45 tomorrow night. How do you like these games in the AAA boys regional semifinals?
Well, I tell you what, it's really, it's to the point now where we've seen all through the season with Northeast Tennessee basketball, we've seen that the level of play just hasn't matched up to previous years, and I think that's really influencing my thoughts on how these games are going to go, especially in this AAA setup. I think Morristown East will beat Science Hill. I think it'll be a close game. I think one of the problems is going to be, Science Hill is going to have to score some points to win this game. And it's not that they're incapable of doing that, but I just think that that's going to be a game where Morristown East can beat them. And then, Jeff County has already beaten Dobbins Minute twice, and I saw Jeff County on Saturday, and these two guards, Nathan Seal and Darius Allen, they're just tremendous basketball players, and they got some nice parts around them. And here's the tough thing with Jeff County's old coach coming back down in a region final game with his new Dobbins Bennett team and his fancy record. And, in the old gym there, does Chris Poore find a way to win that and help guide his kids through it? And I'm going to probably just stick my neck out here. And I'm going to say DB finds a way to beat Jeff County on their home court. And it won't be easy. So we'll say DB and Morristown East for the region title on Thursday.
Yeah, what a story. Hello, Josh King watching. Of course, he's one of the great employees here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So, Chris Poore goes back to coach against his former team from last year, Jefferson County, on their floor in the regional semifinal. What a Cinderella story, and what a great storyline for you to cover in the Johnson City Press. AA tomorrow night, boys, you got Granger and Chucky Doak, the host school, at 6 o'clock, and Elizabeth and Unicoi County going to tee it up again for the fourth time this season, and they'll play that one at 7:45 tomorrow night. So Granger, Chucky Doak, and Elizabeth and Unicoi County, Doug Fritz. Who do you like there in the boys' AA regional semifinals?
I like Granger a lot. I think that they'll be able to beat Chucky Doak. I think Chucky Doak's got a really good team, and that they're capable of pulling that one out. But I just think Granger's got the tradition, got the program. They'll find a way to get to the championship game on Thursday. Now Unicoi County, Elizabeth, and I've seen all three of these games so far this year. This will be the fourth time they've met each other, and first time it was pretty much Unicoi had their way. The next two times Elizabethton had them on the ropes. First time, at Unicoi, had them on the ropes. And the next time, in the district, at Elizabethton, really had them on the ropes. If they make free throws, they win the game. So, and it's tough to beat a team 3 times. It's really tough to beat a team 4 times if the matchup's close. And this matchup has been close. So, I'm just not willing to go out on the limb and say Elizabethton can finish it. I just got too much respect for Trevor Hensley and Troy Podman coming down that fourth quarter, making big shots and big rebounds and big assists, and some nice complimentary pieces for Unicoi. So I'll go with Unicoi and Granger to be playing for the championship on Thursday.
We're live in the lobby of the Bruton Smith building here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're talking to our buddy Doug Fritz. The single A semifinals tomorrow night at Chucky Doak. At Cock County, rather. North Green and Cosby at 6 o'clock. University High and the Sullivan North Golden Raiders at 7:45 tomorrow night. How do you like the single A regional boys semifinals?
I'm going to go with Cosby there. I just think that they got bounced into the opposite bracket there from a district championship loss that probably, one got slipped away from them. I don't think they'll let that happen in the region semifinals. I think they're the best team in the region. And I think they're going to win the region. I think they're going to beat North Green tomorrow night. As for the other game, that's an interesting one. You got to tip your hat to both these teams for getting into this spot, and for having a chance to do it. And that's a tough one, man. That's an absolute 50-50 coin flip. And now you give me some help, Tom. Here, what do you think? UH North.
Gosh, okay, you put me on the spot. I've not seen either team play.
And I'll tell you, here's the thing. North had kind of a renaissance season. Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm.
So, and UH is kind of, they've kind of surprised me by putting themselves in this spot. So let's go with North with the Renaissance season and being able to keep that going and having a chance to play in the sectional for the first time. And maybe for the first time, I could be wrong about this. It's the first time they played in the sectional since the Granville-Arnold days, maybe. Has it been that long? I know that's maybe wrong, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. So, yep, I'm going to go. I'll roll with you. I mean, I have a lot of respect for University High and Justin Penley, but I'm going to roll with who's the coach, by the way. I'm going to roll with the Sullivan North Golden Raiders. So we'll take the Raiders tomorrow night to win in the boys regional single A semifinal. Doug Fritz, in closing, again, a gentleman who's lying in state at the Billy Graham Library in Charlotte, North Carolina. Then going to move him on to only the fourth non-presidential lying state of the Rotunda, the U.S. Capitol, the late Billy Graham. And I know you and I are Bible-believing boys. And what is your thoughts about Billy Graham and his impact and just an overall opinion from Doug Fritz on Dr. Billy Graham?
We were sitting in Sunday school on Sunday morning, and the thing that I'd read about Billy Graham, that he had preached, now from what I understand, directly to 215 million people.
Correct.
And when you think about that, that's what we're here for, and he did it better than maybe. I mean, I don't think this is wrong, because back in the day you just didn't have the ability to do it. He's done it better than anybody else in the history of the planet, other than Jesus, who does it through everybody who believes, and that goes on for all time and has been and always will be. So Billy Graham did what we're all called to do, and he did it everywhere. And some people may disagree with this or that about him. There's been a couple of things he said that I didn't agree with him on, and then one thing that he repented of, but he's a great man in terms of this world, us as human beings. He's a great man because he preached the gospel of Jesus Christ, and he pointed people to the only way that we can get to heaven, and the only chance that we have is Jesus. And he brought that out in a magnificent and bold and had longevity. And I'm just thankful that the Lord worked through him through all those years, and 99 good years. Even though there's none of us that are good when you compare us to God, he was good when you compare him to other men.
Well put. Can't top that. Great report. Doug Fritz, Johnson City Press. Keep on keeping on. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Yep, good man right there. Our buddy Doug Fritz and Johnson City Press. I'm not even going to begin to try and top what he just said. He nailed it. And so thank you again. Hello to Aaron Ferguson watching. Hello, Tom. Roll, Tribe, and Go Herd. You got it. Let me run down again one more time the regional situations. First off, for the ladies tonight, AAA, AA, and Single A regional semifinals for girls basketball tonight at Jefferson County. Dobbins Minutes Lady Indians at 6 o'clock, taking on Jeff County, the host school, at 6. Daniel Boone's Lady Trailblazers and Morristown West, two teams ranked in the top 10 all season long in AAA girls basketball, will square off tonight at 7:30. Morristown West, Daniel Boone. Also in the AA tonight, hello, Martha Buck. How you doing, young lady? Saw you yesterday at the church house. In AA basketball, tonight at Chucky Doak at 6 o'clock, South Green and Greenville's ladies will square off. And the nightcap, Sullivan Central's Lady Cougars and Chucky Doak at 7:30. In the Region 1 semifinals tonight at Cock County, Cloudland will take on the ladies, North Green at 6 o'clock, Unaka and Cosby at 7:30. Those are the ladies. Winners move on, losers go home. Tomorrow night in boys basketball, as Doug said, Chris Poore, the now head coach of the Dobbins Minute Indians, will go back to play his former school. He left Jeff County last year to come to DB. He'll play him in the regional semifinal at Jeff County tomorrow night in game number 2. Hello, Mike Hedrick. Got you on coming up in just a few minutes. That's game 2. Tomorrow night, game 1, Science Hill takes on the Hurricanes at Morristown East at 6 o'clock. Jeff County and DB at 7:45. Those games tomorrow night. Again, at Jefferson County, winners move on, losers go home. In the AA regional semifinals being played at Chucky Doak. Chucky Doak, the Black Knights, will take on Granger at 6 o'clock. Elizabeth and the Cyclones in Unicoi County at 7:45. What a gut check last on Saturday night down at South Green. Tough place to go play. It's hot in there, and the fans are very vocal, as they should be when you go on the road. And Elizabethton found a way to win. Great. I felt like I sat behind the bench and heard the changes made throughout the course of the game by Lucas Honeycutt, the head coach of Elizabethton. So they'll take on Unicoi County and their outstanding player of the year, Trevor Hensley, tomorrow night, 7:45 at Chucky Doak. Need to have a full house down there if you're a Elizabethton or a Unicoi County fan or a Granger or Chucky Doak fan, as you should tomorrow night in the AAA, and as you should tonight in the girls AAA, AA, and Single A. This is it right here. If you lose tonight, you go home, your season's over, so there ain't no tomorrow. You got to win tonight for the girls and tomorrow night for the boys. Again, AA tomorrow night, Granger, Chucky Doak, Elizabeth, and Unicoi County, and the Single A semifinals tomorrow night for the guys, North Green and Cosby at 6, University High and the Sullivan North Golden Raiders at 7:45. They'll play those games again at Cock County High School. So that's what's going on again in high school basketball here in Northeast Tennessee. Now in Virginia, they learned yesterday who's going to be playing where. In Class Single A girls quarterfinals, Rye Cove will take on Perry McClure at 6 o'clock on Friday night at Roanoke College. Eastside will play Galax at 3:30 on Saturday at UVA Wise. And the Class 2 girls tournament, Wise Central plays Martinsville at 2 o'clock on Saturday at UVA Wise. Virginia High, the Lady Bearcats, also in the Class 2 quarterfinals, will play Chatham on Friday. And that side and time is still to be determined. In the Class 1 boys tournament, Honaker takes on George Wythe at 7:45 on Friday at Roanoke College, and Eastside will face Covington at 5 o'clock on Saturday at UVA Wise. And the Class 2 boys quarterfinals, Gate City, the Blue Devils, and Mike McClung will meet Radford at 8:30 on Friday night at Radford University. That place will be rocking. And then Graham, the G-men out of Bluefield, Virginia, will face Martinsville at 6:30 on Saturday at UVA Wise. So that's your Virginia basketball lineup, and all their games will be coming up, as you see it, as you heard, I should say, Friday and Saturday. College basketball, Emory and Henry won their first Old Dominion Athletic Conference men's basketball championship in program history on Sunday. They went in as the number 4 seed. Emory and Henry at number 4 seed at 22-6 on the season, edging the number 2 seed Roanoke College 72-70 in the tournament final. Senior forward Chase Branscombe, we know his granddaddy, we know Chase, played at Tennessee High, 29 points, 6 rebounds to lead Emory and Henry. He hit 4 out of Emory and Henry's 11 three-pointers. Kid's like 6'8", 6'9", is huge, and he can play. And so they will learn their NCAA Division III tournament fate today. The selection show will be streamed live on NCAA at 12:30, and that'll be coming up again just in a few minutes. So we'll know by tomorrow where they're going to be playing. Emory and Henry's top-seeded women were denied the tournament championship. They lose to Randolph-Macon 72-68. That happened yesterday in the women's tournament in the ODAC Conference. Southern Conference tournament, here's how it shapes up. The men will take on the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State, will take on the winner of Chattanooga and Sanford at 6 o'clock on Saturday. Again, the Bucs lose yesterday 79-76 before nearly 6,000 fans at Freedom Hall, Johnson City for the Senior Day finale. So they lost 3 in a row, all at home. They could have easily clinched the Southern Conference regular season championship. They did not. That belongs to UNC Greensboro. So the Bucs will play at 6 o'clock on Saturday in Asheville against the Chattanooga-Sanford winner, and that'll be coming up this coming Saturday. The Lady Bucs will take on Wofford at 3:30 on Thursday in the quarterfinals for Brittany Azale taking on the Lady Terriers of Wofford College or Wofford University. The Lady Vols had South Carolina come to town over the weekend and put the hammer on them, actually on yesterday, as Tennessee blows out the Lady Gamecocks. Next up is the Southeastern Conference Tournament. We'll take on Auburn this week at the Southeastern Conference Tournament in Nashville. The Lady Vols 23-6 in the regular season, 11-5 in the conference, and South Carolina falls to 23-6 and 12-4 in the SEC. Lady Vols will beat number 10 seed. They'll go in as the number 7 seed. Tennessee takes on Auburn on Thursday. Again, at the SEC tournament, if they win, they would turn around and play South Carolina again in a Friday quarterfinal. So that's what's going on with the ladies. Men's regular season still going. Randy Johnson says, "Go Blue Devils." You're right. Mike McClung and those guys can flat play in Gate City High School. And it's not just Mike McClung. I mean, he's the marquee name, and everybody's talking about him going to Georgetown. But obviously, if if you talk to Coach Scotty Vermillion, you got to have a cast of characters and a team to win a ball game, and so they will take on a very good Radford team at Radford this weekend in the quarterfinals of the Virginia basketball tournament. Top 25 from yesterday: Cincinnati 11th ranked Bearcats 8-point win over Tulsa at home. Second ranked Michigan State 5-point win at Wisconsin. It was 23rd ranked Houston blowing out East Carolina 109-58, beat them by 51 yesterday. Houston now 22-6, 23rd in the country for the Cougars. Ninth ranked Purdue, a 24-point win over Minnesota. They're now 26-5 on the season. 20th ranked Nevada runs their record to 25-5 with a 9-point win at home over Colorado State. And one upset yesterday, the North Carolina State Wolfpack in Raleigh knock off the Seminoles of Florida State 92-72. Got them pretty good, beat them by 20. And so the Wolfpack now 20-9. The Seminoles fall to 19-9 on the season. Top three games the top 25 tonight. Fifth ranked Duke, the Blue Devils 24-5 up the road in Blacksburg to take on the Hokies of Virginia Tech at Castle Coliseum. Hokies at 20-9. Sixth ranked Texas Tech at 22-7 in Morgantown tonight, take on the West Virginia Mountaineers, 21st in the country. They're 21-8. They'll play that at 9 o'clock tonight in Morgantown. And then eighth ranked Kansas, 23-6, hosting the Texas Longhorns, again with a record of 17-12 on the season. We'll see where my guys play. The team that really matters, that would be the Marshall Thundering Herd. They play on March the 1st, Thursday at University of Alabama Birmingham, then wrap things up on Saturday in Murfreesboro, Middle Tennessee State University, before the conference tournament starts next week for the Thundering Herd of Marshall University. We are Marshall. All right. What else going on? I got the NBA. Let's run that down for you while we got a chance before we take a break. We've got our buddy Drew Bedard going to be joining us here coming up in just a few minutes as we're live here in the lobby of the Bruton Smith Building here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Again on this overcast and cool 46-degree Monday here at the world's last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the NBA from yesterday and last night and see who's playing where today. From last night and yesterday, Charlotte 16-point win over Detroit at home. New Orleans goes into Milwaukee and beats them in overtime 123-121. My boys, the San Antonio Spurs, roll into Cleveland, beat LeBron and the Cavaliers by 16. 110-94. Greg Popovich, I mean, what an amazing coaching job. He didn't have Ginobili, didn't have Parker, doesn't have Kawhi Leonard. They're 36-25, one of the top teams in the NBA. That's because of Greg Popovich and the system at San Antonio. Washington, 15-point win over Philadelphia yesterday at home, and Houston goes into Denver and beats them by 5, 119-114. NBA today, Memphis at Boston. Golden State will be in New York to battle the Knickerbockers. Detroit at Toronto. The Lakers in Atlanta to battle the Hawks. Chicago at Brooklyn. New Orleans hosting Phoenix. Orlando at Oklahoma City. Indiana, the Pacers, and Dallas against the Mavericks. Houston will go to Utah to battle the Jazz. And Minnesota on the left coast against Sacramento. And that's your schedule for the NBA. National Hockey League from yesterday. It was the Nashville Predators running their record of 38-14. Blanking St. Louis beat the Blues in Nashville 4-0. I love saying that. The St. Louis Blues. Buffalo skates past Boston 4-1 at home. Detroit a 3-2 win on the road against the Rangers in New York. Edmonton a 6-5 shootout winner over Anaheim. Edmonton now 27-31 on the season. Anaheim falls to 31-21. San Jose, the Sharks go into Minnesota and lose. Minnesota skates past them 3-2, and that's your National Hockey League. Today got some good ones. Toronto, the Maple Leafs at 39-20, skating at Tampa Bay with the winningest record in the National Hockey League at 42-17. Vegas, the Golden Knights at 41-16, skating in LA against the Kings at 33-24. Also, Washington, the Capitals, skating in Columbus tonight against the Blue Jackets. Columbus 31-26. Washington on their ice, on the visitors' ice, will be a 35-20 team starting tonight. Philadelphia skates in Montreal, and Vancouver skates in Colorado against the Avalanche. PGA Tour from the weekend, on a week when scores surged north of 1,000 over par. Justin Thomas held on and threw down a thrilling ending to the Honda Classic as he won in a one-hole playoff over Luke List. The victory was his second of the season, seventh in the last 2 years, and eighth of his career. Here's an interesting stat as we go to the break here. Only 3 players in the last 30 years have had 8 or more PGA wins before the age of 25. Only 3 players in the last 30 years have had 8 or more PGA Tour wins before the age of 25. That would be Tiger Woods, Mr. Spieth, and now Justin Thomas. So big win yesterday again for Justin Thomas. And so Jordan Spieth is the other one who has 11 wins. Tiger Woods has 24 wins. Only 3 golfers that have at least 8 or more PGA Tour wins before the age of 25. So Justin Thomas is red hot. Next stop, they'll move into Juarez, Mexico for the World Golf Championship this weekend. The Mexico Championship with a $10 million purse. They'll be televised on NBC. Of course, then they come back into the Valspar Championship, the Arnold Palmer Invitational in Orlando, the World Golf Championship in Austin, Texas, and then moving right into, of course, not that far away would be the Masters, April the 5th through the 8th, of course, in Augusta, Georgia. So not Jordan Spieth, but Justin Thomas winning the Honda Classic over the weekend. And, of course, the purse for the Honda Classic was $6.6 million. So Mr. Thomas had him a nice little payday winning yesterday in Florida in the Honda Classic. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll tell you again how you can get tickets for racing. It's 47 days out. We have, as we said, 450 laps of racing on Saturday, April the 14th, and then 500 laps again on Saturday, April the 14th for the 450 laps, and 500 laps on that Sunday, April the 15th. Again, 48 days away from the Food City 500. And, of course, who won in that race last year? The number 48 car, Jimmy Johnson. So we'll tell you how you can get tickets right after this and carry on with more. Top of the hour, going to be joined in just a few minutes, I should say, by our buddy Mike Hedrick will join us with the NASCAR fans reporter, and he'll have a report for us coming up. And also due to join us coming up next, Drew Bedard from Bristol Motor Speedway on show number 696. They said it wouldn't work, said it wouldn't last, said it would never last. To do a sports show on the internet and Facebook, it's not going to happen. Traditional radio is where it's at. Okay, I stepped out in faith, and here we are, show number 696. And unless the good Lord calls me home, we'll be doing show number 700 on Friday from Food City in Churchill.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE master technicians here with the ratio. It goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live at Bristol Motor Speedway, and our buddy is in the house. Got to get him on because he is, and we got all kinds of things to talk about. Our buddy Drew Bedard, I guess. Hello, Dick Bedard. Dick Bedard's watching. Papa Bear is
great.
watching.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Papa Bear. When do we get to see him? When's he going to grace us with his presence? Papa Bear.
Well, he's
week?
visiting the Tri-Cities all the time because he visits his grandchildren, of course. But when will Bristol Motor Speedway get to see him? Right, April race weekend, baby. April race week. So.
Yep. Love your Papa. He's a great guy.
Yes, he
great
is.
Guy. Go ahead and selfishly plug. Where's your brother at right now?
Yeah, if you're looking for a good sports website on Boston, all things Boston sports, go to bostonsportsjournal.com. You just want to get that out of the way early. Bostonsportsjournal.com. That's right. If you're a Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins, or Patriots fan here in the South or wherever you're listening from, check out bostonsportsjournal.com.
There we go. Now, we're going to get into racing here in just a few
Shameless
minutes.
plug.
There
Yes,
you go.
right.
But I know you're a Red Sox fan. They made it official this morning.
Yes.
Press conference in Beantown. J.D. Martinez is now officially a Boston Red Sox, and that is huge for that team.
Yes, that's a great bat to have in the lineup, and we're excited. I'm sure my dad is very, very excited. Of course, as I've told you before, I don't know the ins and outs of the Red Sox every single day. I probably follow the Celtics even more closely at this point. But that's huge, and I think it's really funny to see kind of how the Yankees are reacting to this whole thing of like that, it's like almost like the big bad Red Sox when they got, they have Stanton on their team now, so they're going to be just fine. Boy, is it going to be a show to watch the Yankees this year. But, happy that the Red Sox upgraded another great bat and another great leader, and so looking forward to the season. Obviously, we've got great pitching, too, and David Price being back is going to be huge.
2 races into the season, fireworks already. Of course, Austin Dillon wins the Daytona 500. We know how he did that. And then Kevin Harvick dominated the weekend. First driver to win both races at Atlanta since 2001 when Carl Edwards won both races. He dominated Saturday in the Xfinity race, and obviously he dominated yesterday in the Cup race. So Harvick has kind of sent out a statement that he may be not one of the young bucks, but he's still around, and he is a force to be reckoned with.
Actually, the top 8 finishers yesterday were all in this sort of veteran crowd, and Harvick dominates Atlanta. He usually does. He just hasn't produced many Cup wins. But, I mean, that guy can get her. I think watching it last night, I love the surface, too. So I know one of the things that everybody talked about all weekend was the surface, whether they need to repave Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I used to love Rockingham. I love those kind of southern tracks that almost look like, you're racing on rocks because they tear up the tires, and it makes it more fun to watch. I mean, those in-car cameras were a blast last night to watch them just wiggling through the corner. And but Harvick does it better than anybody at Atlanta. He can really control that bottom line. And good race. I thought it was fun to watch. What I really enjoyed was the night racing. I just think night racing I love night racing. It's just better. And I know it can, when you're talking about February and Atlanta, it might get on the cool side sometimes, but it seemed like the weather held out for everybody yesterday and got a good show in, and 2 races in. I think the storylines couldn't be better for the action on the track. You got a young guy winning the first race, you got a veteran winning the second one, and you're starting to see some tempers heat up a little bit, and so I think it's good. It's a good storyline so far.
Papa Bear said Dad is excited about J.D. Martinez, so
Absolutely.
he has responded.
It's been a big morning. He's probably got Red Sox gear on head to toe today from the press conference in Fort Myers.
So we can kind of call him Big Papi now, right? Since Big Papi is retired.
Just Papa.
Just Papa.
That's what he likes to be called. Yeah,
Just Papa.
He has this great sweatshirt. It says the man, the myth, the legend. Papa. Yeah, that's what all his grandkids call him. So.
He is awesome, awesome gentleman.
Yep.
Points, we head off to Las Vegas. Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, Austin Dillon, Martin Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, Paul Menard, and Eric Almirola. Some new names and some regulars in the top 10 in points heading off to the 3rd race of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting storylines, and I didn't even know that about Logano, but I think so far it's been good parity. I mean, it's good. Daytona is always going to produce sort of a wild card ending, and now things will start to even themselves out a little bit more with the Vegas, Phoenix swing. You get to these tracks where you're probably going to see experience start to lead the way a little bit more. So you're going to see these names like the ones. I mean, I think Blaney's here to stay, so I don't think he's some anomaly. But Logano, Hamlin, Harvick, Boyer, Martin Truex, obviously. Kurt Busch had a couple great runs for Kurt Busch so far. Kyle Busch. I think you're going to see those names start to kind of rise up. And but you know, that's what's going to happen. I think all year long is you're going to see these races where maybe the younger talent, where it's not as much handling of the car or experience on that type of track. I think Atlanta proved that's a track that you need to have run on a ton to understand the kind of the ins and outs, the how to maneuver the corners, how to get off the corners, how to the tire wear, everything there. But as you start to see some of these wild card races where, you know, restrictor plates and some of the other ones where driving experience isn't as big of a factor, that's when you'll see the young guys kind of bump up the list, and they'll give a good charge into the sport as they get more experienced. So I think I think every week it's going to be something interesting to watch.
We go to Vegas this week. Of course, one of Bruton's tracks. Martin Truex Jr. started there on the front row last year and won the race. Held off the pole sitter Brad Keselowski. So that'll be your stop next in the Cup Series. The Xfinity Series also goes to Vegas, where Joey Logano won by dominating 106 out of the 200 laps a year ago to win the Boyd Gaming 300. So trucks are off until March 24th in Martinsville. This is the first of the three. We call it kind of the West Coast trip, 3 races in a row. Vegas for Truex won, as we said. Then they'll go to Phoenix, where Rocket Ryan Newman won. And then last year, Fontana's race was won by Kyle Larson. So, and then they come back to Martinsville, and we are 48 days away from the Food City 500. Ironically enough, the man who won the race drives the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet, would be Mr. Jimmy Johnson. So things are beginning to heat up here. I know I've been watching the foot traffic, and it's going to get just that much more so, and I've been hearing the phones ring, and that's a good thing. So folks are understanding we are 47 days away from the Xfinity Series and the K&N Series on the 14th of April, and obviously 48 days out from the Food City 500.
Yeah, it's right here. It's time. We're just a couple days away from March, and we're going to turn the corner, and everybody's going to be here at Bristol. So it's a lot of fun right now. And, yeah, the phones are starting to heat up. People are starting to get excited about the race. The ticket sales are starting to pick up for the Food City 500. And, of course, we like to let everybody know that, a lot of people watching your show are from this region. And, ticket sales are on sale now in Food City locations. So if you're there today picking up groceries, you can always pick up $50 tickets for adults and $10 tickets for kids. And, of course, $10 for the Cup races across the board. So not only Food City 500, but the night race as well. Just $10 for kids is such a great deal. And we've got some great enhancements, and I think Kimberlin's been on your show before talking about some of the enhancements that we're doing to the kids zone this year when kids get here to the track, that there's going to be more of an indoor-outdoor experience where toddlers can come play too. There's a lot of good momentum right now. I think with the sport, it's fun. It was fun to watch yesterday. I love one just big X factor that I've really enjoyed lately is this sort of Dale Jr. from the sidelines thing, is that he's sort of live tweeting the races, and he's really involved in the storylines. Obviously, he was at Daytona as the Grand Marshal, and it's just really good for the sport to have him as a primary advocate out there. And he's been in South Korea with the Olympics. So he's out there doing kind of double duty of being on NBC and, tweeting about the races and being involved in NASCAR. I think that's a really cool thing to see as he transitions into his kind of next phase of life, is that he's still so involved and such a giant advocate for the sport.
Said he wasn't going to wait. He's not. As you said, he's very much involved in this. So we are talking to our buddy Drew Bedard from Bristol Motor Speedway. So you all are in the planning stages upstairs working through meetings, and we're going to bring another great weekend of racing, 450 laps on that Saturday, and then 500 laps, of course, on the Sunday for the Food City 500. So the planning is very much in high gear to bring in another great weekend of entertainment, not just racing, but everything around. It's kind of like a carnival atmosphere, as Jerry has said before, and so lots of things will be happening outside the track, and of course the best racing in NASCAR on the track.
Yeah, and Ben Trout, we had a meeting this morning talking about he's really working on all of those kind of fan enhancements and fan experiences, and those will start to come out over email and our social channels, so you can follow along there. But so speaking of, NASCAR Trackside Live is going to be back for the whole weekend. We'll have a Saturday show and a Sunday show. So Jose Castillo, our friend, is one of the hosts on there, and that'll be coming back. We got, again, the more enhanced or kind of indoor-outdoor experience with the Kids Zone. You've also got the merchandise trailers are back, which is a change. We went from the trailers to the tent. Now we're back to the trailers, which the fans like so much. And one of the things that we're really working hard on is the in-stadium experience. So making the pre-race victory lane more fun, more engaging. One thing with pre-race is we're working hard with the Birthplace of Country Music to bring more of that old-time country music to pre-race and have fun with that, because we really want to embrace that, from this area, obviously, with the birthplace of country music just down the street, 8 miles in downtown Bristol, that we've worked there. They are great friends of ours, and we're going to kind of infuse that into pre-race. We're going to have more. We're going to have our own in-house DJ that's going to be down on the roof in turn 4. We're going to have a lot of fun for kids and youth, but it's also going to be your traditional fun for adults as well. And just, one thing, our advertising campaign's about to hit, and we filmed both of our advertisements last week here on property. We did it all over the place, but the whole thing is that we want to exceed expectations. It's about the fans, and this TV spot is very much a storyline of how fans have these everyday lives, just like we all do. They're hard, they're stressful, we got to pay bills, we got to take care of people, we got to do all these things. And when you come to the racetrack, just like a lot of experiences, you just want to cut loose and have fun. And that's Bristol's Bristol, no matter if you come into a football game or if you're going to a NASCAR race, it is fun. And we want to, it's not that August is fun. April's fun too. The football game's fun. Concerts are fun. We had Street Outlaws last year. We have all these NHRA race. It's fun, it's family, it's a good time. We want to let people cut loose. You'll see that in our advertisements. But just get out here to the racetrack and walk around and have some fun. That's what it's all about. So we're working really hard to make it where it's a really engaging experience for everybody.
I've had fans tell me last year it was an escape. They liked the fact because they got, as you said, to get away from the job and the stress and the bills and come here for a weekend and just kind of let your hair down and kind of escape. And then have to go back home and get back onto the merry-go-round called life. But yeah, they come up here and have a good time and watch the greatest racing in NASCAR.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
It's a release and it's an escape. That's the way it should be. It should be come in here and have fun and forget your troubles wherever they are and whatever they are until you get back there to them. So
that's right.
When you're in Bristol, it's Bristol, baby.
It's Bristol, baby. It's time to have fun. So
there you go.
All right, man. We'll have a good rest of the show, and thanks for being here as always. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in 40 days for race week. And Tom Taylor will be back as one of the voices of Bristol Motor Speedway inside the stadium on Colossus TV. So look forward to this mug being on a giant 60-foot wide screen. So, all right, man.
Can I plug my hair real quick before you take off?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because folks say, why the hair? PanteneBeautifulLinks.com, growing it for cancer patients so they can take it and weave it into wigs for ladies going through radiation and chemotherapy. Lost both parents to cancer. It's my way and a small way of giving back. So PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. So that's why we do it, and that's the only reason we're doing it.
I love it, man. See, that's the story behind the story.
There you go.
Great.
There's a reason for the heart, and there's a reason to be here April the 14th and 15th.
Absolutely.
It's Bristol,
and the
baby.
13th, man. Pole day. It's fun.
You got it.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Yep, good man. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll be joined by our buddy Mike Hedrick, NASCAR Fans Reporter next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Awesome. Got a meeting, got to go. Yes, sir. Back with my buddy Phil, Phil's Dream Pit again, the quest for perfect barbecue. And tell us about, big guy, tell us about the dream packs at Phil's Dream Pit.
So we offer these dream packs that we offer them in equal numbers. So like 4, 8, 12, 20, 24. I mean, we can do them as much as 100 people or more. We've had them go out for 300 people. But the dream packs it comes with the pork, the sauce, the buns, and 3 sides. So you could do like beans, potato salad, and coleslaw. The price ends up costing you a little under $7 a person, which is an unbelievable value around here.
Well, obviously spring's right around the corner. You're looking at people on the move, going to ball games and Little League games and just being on the move. So this is a great way to come in and get a dream pack. And or if you got an event in the backyard, a cookout, or whatever you got going on, this is a great way to feed the gang, right?
It is. And another benefit of it is sometimes people are having rehearsal dinners and they'll have volunteers from their church that will serve. So this is a very inexpensive way to hold your costs down for your rehearsal dinner or your wedding. We do offer full service catering. The price goes up a little bit to have our whole crew out there, but you could do the value packs too and have folks from church serve it, and Costs you under $7 a person.
Let's squeeze in, too, before I let him go, meat by the pound. So, again, another event coming up that you just want to come out here and buy this great meat by the pound. You do that as well.
I do. We offer the pulled chicken. We offer brisket by the pound, pork by the pound, chicken salad by the pound. The chicken salad, kind of give us a heads up if you're going to want 4 or 5 pounds of that, because we try not to make that much of it at once.
And all this on the website.
And philsdreampit.com.
Yep.
It has our catering menu. It also has our in-house menu and the value packs, and just an awesome deal.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, they're physically located right off Interstate 26, the Eastern Star exit. So, Phil's Dream Pit, philsdreampit.com. The quest for perfect barbecue, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's go to the phone. He's there, our buddy, our dear friend Mike Hedrick, again, all the way up there in yonder, Northern Virginia. Good afternoon, my good friend. How are you?
Doing good. I just got done, watching my buddy Drew Bedard right there on there. Man, it's always great watching him. I like hanging out with him a little bit better, but it looks like he did a great job as my opening act here for the Tom Taylor Show today.
Absolutely. He was your warm-up act, and so ready to go. Michael Hedrick again, or Mike Hedrick again, the NASCAR fans reporter from Northern Virginia. Let's go back and recap a big weekend, obviously, for Kevin Harvick and that Stewart-Haas racing team. They dominated both the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series in Atlanta Motor Speedway over the weekend. Tell us about it.
Yeah, he sure did. Kevin Harvick came out. Everybody said that, he was going to be strong at that track, and we knew he had won the day before, and we'll talk about that Xfinity race. But he really came out and just showed everybody that he was going to be strong this year. The Fords were going to be strong. He led 181 of the laps yesterday, took it to victory lane. We knew he would. The cool thing is after we say it was so neat last week when the number 3 won the Daytona 500, and that was 20 years after the day the Dale had won. But we remember after Senior passed away and Harvick had to go into the car, he actually won that very next Atlanta Motor Speedway race. And so it was cool to see him do his victory lap with the number 3 going out the window. So he's such a classy guy. He's matured over the years, but what a hard racing guy, man. He was going after them young guys. And like Drew pointed out, this race here actually showed that the veterans do. You do need to be a veteran at some of these tracks because there's not even a young guy until you get 9, 10, and 11. And back in there were Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, and Ryan Blaney were all back near the top 10 spot. So great race in there. It was kind of delayed a little bit because of the rain, but as you said, it kind of threw it under the nightlights there just a little bit, and that always makes it fun.
There you go. Harvick, the first driver since Carl Edwards did it back in 2001 to win both races, the Xfinity and the Cup race the same weekend in Atlanta. So pretty special Sunday. And, of course, Saturday night, again, he just dominated the track again to win the Xfinity race. Again, Harvick led 141 out of 163 laps. And, again, had a runner-up, Joey Logano, the other Cup driver. So Harvick, again, put the hammer down and won on Saturday, too. So a solid weekend for Kevin Harvick and for Stewart-Haas Racing. In fact, they had, all 4 drivers in the top 13 yesterday. Of course, you had Clint Boyer finishing 3rd, Kurt Busch finished 8th, and Eric Almirola finished 13th. So a great weekend for Stewart-Haas Racing. And obviously that's some momentum and a springboard to take to Vegas this weekend as well.
And also, we have to look at. We were just looking at the top of the winning right there. We got to look back at near the bottom. Back in 27, Jimmy Johnson again gets caught up and has trouble. That's really. I mean, now he's on this really long, not win streak, and not only that, but he's so far down in the points right now. If you look at the point standing, like you said, we got Joey Logano up there with 89 points. Jimmy Johnson is back at 35th. He's got 11 points. That's almost 2 races. If we're going, 40 spots a race, he's almost 2 full races behind the leader. So if we're coming out, cheers at Kevin Harvick. He looks really good, but what is happening to that number 48 team? To me, I don't understand it because Jimmy Johnson seems to me he's in good health. Seems to me he's still the good driver that he was. I can't see anything where Chad Knaus has fallen off. So maybe it's just that whole Hendricks organization. They're slipping just a little bit, or the other teams are catching up a little bit. But that's really, to me, that was the kind of surprise coming out that not only did Jimmy Johnson not win the race because he's has the most top 10s, top 5s, and wins in there, but it was so surprising that he again had such a difficult race, putting him so far back in the point standings.
Absolutely. Again, he is near the bottom out of the 39 drivers or 40 drivers. Yeah, he's way down. Johnson at 48, and clearly one of the guys that is not where he wants to be for the time being. But again, things get turned around pretty quick, and we'll see. He is the winningest active driver heading into Vegas this weekend with 4 wins. In fact, he won it 3 years in a row, 05, 06, and 07. So Jimmy Johnson knows about Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll see how he does this weekend for the Cobalt 400. Brett Moffitt in the Truck Series, he streaked into the lead in overtime and holds on to win the Truck Series over Johnny Sauter and Matt Snyder. So Moffitt, Noah Gregson finished second, Johnny Sauter finished third. Interesting story, if you watched the race, Kyle Busch was leading. He was set to win his 50th Truck Series race, and they went into the pits under yellow. Busch left pit road with the lug nuts off his left rear tire, which fell off as he pulled on the apron off turn 1. He had to back up into his stall to correct the miscue. Needless to say, he wasn't happy, and I'm sure there were some heads rolling after that. How many times you've seen somebody pull out and the wheel falls off of your truck or your car? So not a good afternoon when it was supposed to be, and it was heading to be that way for the veteran driver Kyle Busch.
And you know what? That was a huge mistake, and I haven't really not clear whether that was the driver mistake or whether he thought that they were going to do 2 and they were doing 4 or whatever. But yeah, when he came out of there without that tire, that actually is going to cost a penalty that's going to actually cost that team into next week. They're probably going to lose, when NASCAR gives them a penalty, probably going to lose the crew chief for the next race for losing a tire on the track, which brings us back to last year. We used to talk so much about the lug nut rule and, you know, hey, these guys don't want to, you know, they will need to get 5 lugs or 4 lugs and, you know, and making the penalty right there. Well, the penalty was already huge enough. If not enough of those lugs were on there and a tire comes off on the track, that's a very severe penalty. So we're going to see that Kyle Busch Motorsports number 4 truck probably not have its crew chief at their next race.
Again, we're talking to our buddy Mike Hendry, the NASCAR Fans Reporter, joins us on Mondays and Fridays. We love the information report he brings to us. Again, we moved to Vegas, the first of 3 West Coast road races in a row, then Phoenix, then Fontana. Again, the winner of a year ago, Martin Truex Jr., led 150 out of the 267 laps to win the Cobalt 400. Keselowski sat on the pole. In the Xfinity Series, Kyle Busch sat on the pole, and Joey Logano dominated that race as he led 106 out of the 200 laps in the Xfinity Series. It's called the Boyd Gaming 300. Trucks are off until March the 24th, and Mike, a new twist this year is the first of 2 races. NASCAR awarded Las Vegas 2 races beginning this year, and so this is the first one. The second will be the first race of the chase back. They'll roll back into Vegas on September the 16th. It's called the South Point 400, so Vegas now has 2 races. This is the first one this weekend, and of course the folks in Las Vegas loving the fact NASCAR is coming to town not once but twice in 2018.
Well, and that's a great area that really has supported the sport and supported the, you know, coming out to the track and all that. And so it's kind of good for them to get another race in the season. You know, anytime you say that, you know, there's somebody who's mad that they lost a race at their track. But Las Vegas is great. It's great racing, and it's also great for the drivers. They love to stop out there on that West Coast swing in the springtime, like they're doing right now, because they're coming up out of cold Daytona and cold, you know, Atlanta in the wintertime, and they're heading out west. They're heading out to all those warm tracks. So they like it then. So hey, they're going to like it doing a little gambling or a little catching some of the shows and the bright lights in the summertime too. I think it's a good move. Las Vegas has been very good to NASCAR. They've run the championship benefits or the banquet out there a few times. Drivers like going to it. It gives them that certain amount of, you know, show business and a little bit of glamour and glitz that the big boys, you know, they all kind of like that.
We do this every day, 11 to 1, again, Eastern Standard Time. I want to say hello to Brett Legg, young man I grew up playing basketball with in the backyards in West Virginia and scouts with him. And hello to Brett Legg. I don't know where you live, but hello, Brett. A lot of great memories living down there off Koontz Drive and so in West Virginia. So hello, Brett Legg. Don't know where you are as far as where you live, but thank you for checking in on the show. We do this every day from 11 to 1. We're talking to Mike Hendrick, the NASCAR Fans Reporter. So what else you want to tell us about? What else going on?
Well, 2 things is, one, we heard just a little bit of a rumors where, you know, everybody talks about Jeff Gordon being up in there and they miss him out on the track, but it looks like that he might drive a truck here for too long, and if he does, it's going to be at Martinsville. I'll go ahead and quote him. He says, I've always thought about maybe looking for the opportunity to drive a truck at Martinsville or a track like that. He says, I like the short tracks, but he also went on to say that he would never be able to really or want to run a full-time schedule, that he likes his time up there in the booth. But yeah, maybe we could see old Jeff Gordon there at Martinsville, which would be really good. I mean, he's got such a great record there. Even if you put him in a truck or a go-kart or anything, he'd be great. And heck, the fans would. If there was anything that would sell out a truck race, it'd be Jeff Gordon running around there right now. And the other thing is, hey, coming up the week before the race coming up, I'm going to be out there going over the edge of Bristol right there. I'm going to be doing the rappelling down with helping out the Speedway's Children's Charity and the YWCA to raise up some money. And we're going to be rappelling down that iconic Bristol elevator tower. I've had it on my back there with the Fan Zone show going all the time. So, yeah. So if you want to dip in, hey, walk the bucket around there, the boys upstairs at the Bristol and say, hey, for Mikey, alms for the poor, alms for the poor. But, yeah, we're raising money up, trying to get that going, and really looking forward to doing that. That's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to rappel down that. I know you're going to be at the bottom, so just catch me if I fall there, Tom.
I'm right there. I'll have my arms out ready to go to make the catch in case the big guy slips. I don't think he will. I think he'll do perfect coming off the edge of 10-story tower right outside the building here again. And I'll be coming up on April the 7th, coming over the edge, raising money for Speedway Children's Charities, again, the Bristol Y, as he mentioned. So you will be here. We're 47 days away. So tell the folks what you're going to be doing and what capacity you'll be at Bristol Motor Speedway for race week.
Yeah, I love coming out there. This is, I think, my 11th or 12th race coming and working with the track. Most of the week, you guys can find me out on the Fan Zone, right, actually under that iconic Bristol elevator tower, right there in the Fan Zone stage. We have a lot going on out there. So many activities for the fans, a lot of great vendors. Of course, the merchandise trailers that everybody likes. There'll be some of them over there as well. But, yeah, we'll have some appearances that come there. And then race day, I'll actually head on into the track. I'll be down at the Pit Road Party Zone, which is the only infield hospitality center right down there, right behind Pit Road. And, yeah, we'll be doing there, interviewing some drivers. Not sure who we're going to have there. We had Jeff Hammond and the likes of Richard Petty and Bobby Allison in there in the past, so no telling who we're going to have there. But it's a great upgrade if you're going to the race, for not that much more. There's just so many good fan upgrade experiences you can get into. That's one that I'm going to be a part of. And so, yeah, looking forward to that. Can't wait to get back to my home track right there, Bristol Motor Speedway.
You got it. You'll be there. We'll be here doing the public address announcing for the 16th season, I think it is. Love it. It's a great opportunity. It's the greatest track in the world. The greatest people up here on the staff of Bristol Motor Speedway are just superb, and they're just dynamite to work with. So can't wait. Again, tickets are available, again, 3 different ways. Again, you can purchase your season tickets online at bristolmotorspeedway.com. You can call them here, 423-BRISTOL. If you're out of town, call 1-866-415-4158. We got the Bristol Rewards ticket packages coming out later this week, so you can get down there and watch the greatest drivers in the world in the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. They'll be here for the running of the Food City 500. Jimmy Johnson back to defend his crown in the number 48 days from today, so pretty cool. And then, again, the Xfinity Series on that Saturday, April the 14th. The Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 won by Eric Jones a year ago, and then the Zombie Auto 150 won by Jeff Burton's son Harrison Burton in the K&N Series. So that's 450 laps on Saturday. The kids 12 and under get in free on Saturday. And Mike, it's unbelievable. The kids 12 and under for the Cup race, 500 laps for the greatest drivers in the world. A kid 12 and under gets in here for $10. And this place is crawling with kids last year, which is what we want. That's the future of the sport. Got to get these kids plugged in, and Bristol Motor Speedway is doing a great job. Drew just said they got even more initiatives for the kids this year to come here and watch the racing. So the folks at Bristol Motor Speedway get it. They know this is the future of the sport, are these youngsters, and they're doing everything they can to get them here at the track, and it's working so far.
And it is, and each year you get out there, you see younger and younger guys there at the track, younger fans, boys and girls wearing their favorite driver. They actually highlighted a bunch of that on TV the other day, and that's always great. So I'm excited to get there to the Fan Zone. I know that they always have a lot of activities for the adults, but they're really going to focus in a lot more on the kids this time as well, like they have been. And so I'm looking forward to. You'll probably catch me out there playing some of the kids' games out there. I usually get a little distracted, like I see a squirrel and I just run off in that way. But yeah, looking forward. So much fun to do.
You got it. Hey, great report, my friend. I'll talk to you Friday. Give me some screen taters, would you please?
God bless everybody real good. Screen taters. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
There's my man again, Mike Hedrick. Appreciate him. Great job. NASCAR fans reporter, doing a phenomenal job as always, and we appreciate him very much being with us here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, want to say thanks to our guest today, Landon Owens, the Director of Ticket Sales here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Doug Fritz with us live from the Johnson City Press, again bringing us up to speed on the high school basketball tournaments coming up for today and tonight. And then also want to say thanks, of course, to Drew Bedard, who stopped by from the Senior Vice President of Brand Marketing here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And just now, of course, our buddy, as you heard, Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR fans reporter. Again, one more time, let's run down these basketball games for you tonight. The regional semifinals from Jefferson County High School, 6 o'clock tonight. Jeff County and the Lady Indians of Dobbins Bennett. At 7:30, the two top 10 programs in the state in AAA basketball all season long square off. Morristown West and Daniel Boone at 7:30 tonight. At Chucky Doak in the Double A's, South Green's Lady Rebels take on Greenville at 6 o'clock. Sullivan Central's Lady Cougars and Chucky Doak at 7:30 tonight. Then in the single A at Cock County, Cloudland and North Green at 6. Unaka and Cosby at 7:30. Boys play tomorrow night. Tomorrow we'll take our show on the road, show number 697 tomorrow. We'll be live at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, the #1 farmers insurance agent in 4 states. We'll be at his place tomorrow, broadcasting live. Wednesday at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet, and then we'll have a Food City Friday this coming Friday on the road at Food City in Churchill. Looking forward to being there as well. So all that again straight ahead again on this week that's going to overlap into February. And of course, March 1st comes in on Thursday. In like a lion or in like a lamb will it be? We'll have to wait and see. And so we're looking forward to being with you all week long as we rapidly approach show number 700 coming up again Friday from Food City in Churchill. Until then, for all of our guests, this is Tom Taylor again. As always, we tell you we dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. Our verse today is Zephaniah 3:17. I am with you. I am mighty to save. I will take great delight in you. I will quiet you with my love, and I will rejoice over you with singing. That is our verse for the day and has been for Zephaniah, from Zephaniah 3:17. See you tomorrow from Jim Klein Farmers Insurance in Kingsport. Until then, as always, we'll tell you we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Until we re-greet you again tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Jim Klein Farmers Insurance in Kingsport. As we wrap up show number 696, we'll tell you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody, from Bristol Motor Speedway.